The next step in our estimate is to add the 4x4 pressure-treated posts this sign will be installed between. To do this, we click the Add Item button and choose Retail Items. The Retail Items screen is where you price anything that you buy and resell, such as posts, concrete, or real estate sign frames. To add our posts to the estimate, we simply pull down the list of retail items and select 4x4 pressure-treated posts. Note that the quantity fills in with the default quantity of 2. When you add anything to the retail items list, one of the things you can specify is a default quantity for that item. As always, if our item was not in the list, we could click on the book icon to add it. Once we've chosen our posts, we simply click the Calculate button to calculate the price for both of them. Note that we have the option to apply a quantity discount to these items or not. Now we click OK and transfer this item to the estimate we are working on. Next, we will add the concrete used for footing the sign, also via the retail items. We click Add Item, Retail Items, then select the concrete from the list. We will specify a quantity of 10 bags, 5 for each post, then click Calculate and OK to add the concrete to our estimate. The last thing we need to do for this estimate is add the installation labor time. To do so, we will click Add Item and then Other. The Other screen is designed to allow you to add flat rate or hourly rate items to an estimate that don't fit in any of the other pricing screens. For this example, we will concentrate on an hourly rate item, but later in this presentation is a section that covers flat rate items. The first thing we will do is enter a description, in this case, installation of sign. Next, from the type of item list, we will select hourly rate item. By pressing the Tab key, we can move into the next field and enter the time required. In this case, 1.5 hours. Finally, we click Production Rate to indicate the hourly rate to use for this item, and click Calculate to calculate the total price. Then we click OK to add this item to our estimate. The next logical question is, how much of this is profit? What am I making? An EstiMate is designed to answer that question in a snap via the Hard Numbers screen. To get to the Hard Numbers screen, you simply double-click on any subtotal box throughout the program. It's like a hidden button. This very powerful feature will pop up the Hard Numbers screen and show you the breakdown of how EstiMate has come up with this price, your expenses, and your profits, which allows you to check your profits before giving the customer a price on anything. You can always print the hard numbers by clicking the printer icon at the bottom of the screen. To close the hard numbers screen, simply click the OK button. When you are ready to print your estimate, you click Print Estimate, and that brings up the Print Estimate Options screen, where you can set several options for printing your quote. You can enter the title that you want printed on the estimate, the purchase order number of the customers if you have one. You can select any terms you like for the estimate. In this case, we will choose 50% down and 50% on installation. To add terms to that list, you simply click on this book. There are many options on this screen, but it should not be confusing. You can choose to include or not include a signature line on the estimate. The signature line is where the customer signs to turn this into a miniature contract. You can choose to include or not include delivery time on the estimate, to print or not print the financial analysis report after the estimate, to switch the customer and shop addresses if you want it to fit a window envelope, and you can choose to print a custom header or a custom footer on your quote. The custom header and custom footer can contain boilerplate text that you want to include on your estimate for your customer. You can select to preview the quote, or if you uncheck this, it will print straight to the printer, and to print or not print the totals on the estimate. Printing the totals on the estimate is something you will do for most quotes. However, if you want to present a good, better, best scenario to your customer, you can, for example, show several different levels of complexity on a sign, uncheck this box, and then tell the customer, simply circle the one you want, sign it, and fax it back to me. You can also opt to suppress the individual item prices if you want the customer only to see the totals. This cover page is where you can enter a letter to your customer that will print on the cover page. The Design Proof tab allows you to select an image as a proof for this job. You can export the image from your design software and then place it on the quote as a JPEG, bitmap, or Windows Meta file. A Windows Meta file is a vectored file format and is preferred. When you click the Print button, your quote will print. Let me resize this to fit the video. And now you can see that your logo prints, your customer information, your shop information, the description and delivery time, the items on the quote, totals, terms, and the signature line. Page 2 of the quote is the proof with the same header information, the proof image, and your copyright statement. And that's how you print a quote using EstiMate. EstiMate maintains a complete list of the estimates and jobs that you are working on. To open the list of current estimates and jobs, and current estimates and jobs are defined by that the estimates have not yet been accepted and that the jobs are still in production. To retrieve this list, you click on the Open button. This will pull up the list of estimates and jobs. Notice that here in the list is the estimate that we just created for the sign installed for our customer. There are several things you can do on this screen. Any of the columns can be sorted by clicking on the heading of the column. We only have one in the list, so you can't see this happen right now. But if you click on number, it will sort by number, description will sort alphabetically by description, customer name will sort alphabetically by customer name, type will sort by estimate or job, last modified will sort by the last modified date, and due date will sort jobs by due date. If you click any heading twice, it will reverse the sort alphabetically. You can also click Duplicate Item, which we will do here. And then it says, do you really want to duplicate this item? And you click Yes. And it will create an exact copy of that estimate. And now you have two. And notice that it added the next number in sequence to that estimate. You can also delete any item in the list by clicking Delete Item and saying Yes. And there it's gone. And to open any item, you can do one of two things. You can select the item and click on the Select Item button, or you can simply double-click on the item you want to open. And it will come up in the estimate or job screen depending on which type of transaction it is.